This is Jim Williams with the Hurricane City Tropical Update video for July 7th, 10 a.m. Here's the water vapor loop from LSU showing the dry air in the Atlantic Basin. And our eyes are on 96L Invest down in the southern Gulf of Mexico coming off the Yucatan Peninsula. So let's go ahead and tell you a little bit what's happening with that. Here's where we believe the center of circulation is, and we'll show you the map in just a minute. Right here off the northwest coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. It moved over Merida, Mexico last night and is now out over the open water. But notice this dry air right here. There's a little swath of, wherever you see green and blue on the map, that's dry air, and that is not conducive for tropical development. The dry air gets wrapped into the circulation and it loses its moisture. It does not allow the convection to build up near the center of circulation, and we do not have a developing system. With that said, the system does appear to be getting a little bit better organized. Now, this is not going to be an Alex situation by any stretch, but there is a possibility that this could become a tropical depression or a storm right before landfall. More than likely, this will make landfall in South Texas. I'll show you the pressure fields in just a minute. Here is the big upper level low out in the Atlantic, and look at all the dry air wrapping in. And when you have a big upper level low like this out in the middle of the Atlantic, you're not going to get any development. I don't care how strong the tropical waves are when they're coming across. They're going to bump into that wall and they're going to be squashed. Here's another low out in here, and that's been causing the southwest, northwesterly wind shear in the Gulf of Mexico, which is now not affecting Invest96L anymore. Invest96L has moved off to the west, so now it's just a matter of dealing with dry air. The wind shear is not really much of a factor with 96L. But that's basically it. Things are quiet in the development regions for the beginning of July out here. In about a week or so, we'll start looking out here in the eastern Atlantic. In fact, there's a strong wave coming off Africa. I'll do an update on that tomorrow. But as long as this big Tutlow is sitting out here in the Atlantic, it's going to be very difficult for anything to get across with the wind shear. All right, back in 2005, we were tracking Hurricane Dennis, and tomorrow it would become a tropical depression right here in the Windward Islands and move west-northwest, and that would set the stage for a major hurricane for the Florida Panhandle as it would come ashore on July 11th with winds around 115, 120 miles an hour. Not too much of a storm surge with this, but if something were to come in like this right now, it would definitely push a lot of that oil on shore and make things a heck of a lot worse than they are right now. So luckily nothing like that is going on. But back in 2005, we were up to number 4. We've only had one named storm this year, and a lot of people are trying to compare this season to 2005. It's yet to remain to be seen how active this season is going to be. And it's not to say that we won't be as active as 2005. You could have a rash of hurricanes coming up here shortly, and we could easily catch up to 2005. So right now we're much behind the pace of 2005. Here's the current position of Invest96L right there in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and the southern Gulf, heading west-northwest. The models are pretty much in agreement on where this is going to go. Here is the forecast potential from the National Hurricane Center. You can see the big bright orange circle there. That's showing a 30 to 50% chance of development. Now, a hurricane hunter is going to head out there around 2 o'clock this afternoon, and we'll have that on hurricanecity.tv. And, of course, you can always find tropicalatlantic.com has the recon live fixes on the Google Earth program. Here are the models, pretty much consistent. Even the European, the UK Met, just about every model takes this into northern Mexico or southern Texas. So our current feature at Hurricane City is now Brownsville, Texas. We feel pretty confident that this is where the point of landfall is going to be. Now, it could be a little further north, a little further south. I'll get to the pressures in just a second. But the models are pretty consistent. And as far as intensity is concerned, nothing more than tropical storm status. This is not going to be an Alex situation. Too much dry air out here, as I mentioned earlier, for this to really crank up into anything significant. The pressure's not really low out there either, so we're not going to see anything significant here. Now, here were the pressure field readings from yesterday using sailweather.info website here, rather. And yesterday I pointed a line right in here, showing that anything on this side of the line is high pressure, down here is low pressure, which would it would stay in the low pressure field and move off to the west-northwest. Now let's see where that line is today. And this is, again, I mentioned yesterday how pressure fields change in time. But here we are. Now the pressure field is a little bit further south. Again, high pressure over here, low pressure over here. Lowest pressures we can find are down in here. But up on the Texas coast where it's generally headed, we have 1,006 to 1,009 right in here. And that's probably where it's going to head, and it's going to be south of this line. So the pressures do mean something. Follow the lowest pressures. That's usually where the thing is apt to go. And it wouldn't surprise me if this came into Mexico because the pressures are a little lower down here in Mexico. Here are the sea surface temperatures. Piping hot, but if you look at the channel left by Alex right here, and you can see that the temperatures are a little bit warmer there. We're talking maybe 79, 80 degree, 81 degree temperatures in the path of where 96L is headed. If it was a little further north, it has a lot more heat up here, 84, 85 degree temperatures up in here. So it's taking the cooler path, and that's another reason why this won't crank up significantly like it would if it was further north. All right, they're continuing to work on the oil spill area out there. The seas are very high. The skimming operations are minimal right now all over the northern Gulf due to wave action. But they are continuing with the relief well operations, and they have like 25 vessels out there. There they are, all working out there. Most of those are still out there with the high seas. And again, they'll bail when the seas get around 15 feet or higher, but they're not that high right now. So it's just a bumpy, wavy ride for the people out there working on the oil spill. They continue to work hard, but the close inshore operations have been halted until the seas subside. Well, that's it for now. Again, check out hurricanecity.tv, upper right-hand corner of Hurricane City right here. We'll have the recon reports this afternoon. We're continuing to monitor the oil spill cams. That's it for now. We'll be back with another update tomorrow. Thank you again for visiting Hurricane City.